so good to see you whole and well. I was so worried. All that time you were ill, the Keeper didn't know if you were going to live or die. I've been outside the Keeper's tent the whole time. I have never been so relieved as when I heard you would pull through. What happened? Everyone says Tamlin may be dead. That's awful. He's been a good friend to you since you were fledglings. You must be more careful. Your mother and father, may they rest in peace, would be horrified to see you take such risks. What happened to them is a sad tale, and it's in the past. Reopening old wounds benefits no one. True. Perhaps you're old enough to hear this, though it hardly seems like the right time. Very well. If I do not tell you now, you'll only wonder. Your mother was a hunter, one of the finest, and your father was the Keeper before Marithari. He was with us for a very long time. Your mother was from another clan, and her elders did not approve of the match. She and your father had to meet in secret. One day, bandits caught them alone in the forest. Your father was killed, but your mother escaped. Your mother held to life long enough to give birth to you. But grief racked her heart. One night she simply walked into the moonlight and never returned. The clan decided not to discuss this around you, lest it poison your heart with sadness. Our people have learned to live with much sorrow. It seemed only right that we not dwell on it. Your mother did leave you a gift. Something of your father's for you to have once you were older. Perhaps the time has come. Take this key. You'll see some chests behind the storage Aravel by the Halapen. One of them was your mother's. Its contents are yours if you wish.
Can we trust this Grey Warden? How do we know he didn't hurt Tamlin?
I miss Tamlin. I want him to come home.
The Keeper told me I'm to accompany you back to those caves. As her apprentice, I may see something you missed. But our main objective is to find Tamlin, of course. We must make haste. He may not have much time. That depends on the Keeper. I thought we're supposed to go alone. That's good enough for me. Now, are we ready? A little, but the Keeper cured you. How dangerous could it be? Even if I get sick, finding Tamlin or something valuable will be worth it. Enough to pique my interest and my concern. You can explain the rest on the way. Then let us make haste while daylight lasts. those things? Were those Darkspawn? I've never seen anything like them. You can smell the evil on them. Where did they come from? Were they here before? What would Darkspawn have to do with our people? The stories say our Lathan fell long before the Darkspawn appeared. Well, we'll find out soon enough. Let's hope we don't find any more of these monsters. Before we go, are you all right? Were you hurt during the fight?
You do look quite pale, now that Meryl's mentioned it.
Well, I'll keep an eye on you. You've only just recovered from your illness. But let's not think of that now. We should move on. I wonder whose camp this is. Do you remember it being here? You're probably right. Didn't he say he was headed back to the cave? If so, he's not here now. We've seen no sign of Tamlin. Maybe we should... Wait. Do you hear that? Exactly. The forest is too... still. Something's in the air. Something unnatural. And now it's affecting the forest? Maybe that mirror unleashed some kind of sickness. That would not be good.
That's an understatement.
The sooner we find this cave and Tamlin, the sooner we can leave. Take us there quickly.
And I'm off.
So these are the ruins. Interesting. They're definitely of human origin, yet elven artifacts are scattered amongst them. Nothing explains the monsters, though. But we must find Tamlin, or what's left of him. I can't imagine he's still alive with those creatures about. You're right. We should explore farther before I go on about my fears. I'm sorry.
down! Is that all you got? We did well!
To fight. Take that.
You're in trouble now! Get them all!
Yes.
So you were the one fighting Darkspawn. I thought I heard combat. You're the elf I found wandering the forest, aren't you? I'm surprised you have recovered. It's a pleasure to finally meet you. The last time we spoke, you were barely conscious.
And Darren Atishan, Duncan of the Grey Wardens. I am Mahariel, the Keeper's apprentice.
And I am Mahariel. Did you come here alone, human? Battling all those creatures?
Yes, though I must admit you took a great deal of pressure off me. Your keeper did not send you after me, did she? I told her I would be in no danger. So, you and your friend Tamlin both entered this cave, and you saw this mirror. I see. That's unfortunate. The Grey Wardens have seen artifacts like this mirror before. It is Tevinter in origin, used for communication. Over time, some of them simply break. They become filled with the same taint as the Darkspawn. Tamlin's touch must have released it. It's what made you sick. And Tamlin too, I presume. Unfortunately, no. It will taint all those who come near it now.
I do not fear this sickness. The Keeper knows how to cure it.
She may have weakened it, but she cannot cure it. Your recovery is only temporary. I can sense the sickness in you, and it is spreading. Look inside yourself, and you will see. First, we deal with the mirror. It is a pestilence and a threat. It is done. Now let's leave this cursed place. I must speak with the Keeper immediately regarding your cure. There is nothing we can do. Let me be very clear. There is nothing you can do for him. He's been tainted for 3 days now, unaided. Through your Keeper's healing arts and your own willpower, you did not die, but Tamlin has no chance. Trust me when I say that he is gone. Now we should return. If you prefer, I can wait outside while you look around, but I assure you, he will not be here. I suggest, however, leaving sooner rather than later. You are sick, whether you feel it or not, and it does you no good to linger. As you wish. I will see you back at camp.
Let's not waste any time. If Tamlin's alive, he needs us.
The Grey Warden is waiting for us outside. He's probably right, Tamlin isn't here. We should return to camp.
I'm relieved you have returned. And I did not expect to see you again so soon, Duncan.
I was not expecting to return so soon either, Keeper.
Dare I ask of Tamlin? What did you find of him? I see. Meryl, what about the mirror? Did you bring anything back?
I can answer that, Keeper. I destroyed the mirror.
I intended to use it to find a cure for this mysterious illness. I trust you had good reasons for your actions.
There is much to discuss, Keeper. I have learned a great deal since I was last here.
Let us speak privately within my Aravel, then, Duncan. Meryl, warn the hunters. If Darkspawn are about, I want the clan prepared.
Manuvinen, Keeper. Right away.
Darlene, allow me some time to speak with Duncan. Seek us out at my Aravel later, and we can discuss your cure. Tell Haren Paival what has occurred. He now has the sad task of preparing a service for the dead. Follow me, Duncan. I'm eager to hear what you have to say.
Why has the Grey Warden returned with you? We have much to do before we can travel.
So you return with the Grey Warden, but without Tamlin. What happened, Dalen? Is he truly lost to us? Even if he's not, we must leave soon. To think I'd live to see this. It seems the will of the creators that I sing the dirge for those I held in my arms as babes. I think I know why our immortal ancestors would sleep. Swiftly do stars burn a path across the sky, hastening to place one last kiss upon your eye. Tenderly land enfolds you in slumber, softening the rolling thunder. Dagger now sheathed, bow no longer tense. During this, your last hour, only silence. Of course. We've no body to return to the soil, but we shall still sing for Tamlin. The creators must come to guide him to the beyond. Tell the Keeper, it shall be done before the clan is ready to move on. I ask only one thing, if I may. This Grey Warden, you have met him now, yes? Is he a good man? Interesting. What is it he talks to the Keeper about, I wonder? Perhaps you should go and ask. Only that they eat living flesh, and lurk in underground tunnels, once ruled by the Dergenlen, the dwarves. In the last blight long ago, the Grey Wardens all but wiped them out. Should they return, all races will shudder. Of course. May the gods guide your path, Dalen. The Keeper is expecting you. You should not keep her waiting. Now that's something I rarely hear. Of course. Ah, yes. The Lost City. Before the Shemlen enslaved us, even before they came to this part of the world, our people lived in glorious Arlathan. Legends say that our ancestors were immortal, and we possessed magic the Shemlen could only dream of. When the humans enslaved us, they took away our language, our history, and our immortality. We quickened to the pace of life, and retained nothing of ourselves. We were slaves for so long, that even when we became free, there was little for us to recover. If books still exist, I do not know of them. Perhaps they have no choice. Dalish clans are scattered to the winds and rarely gather, which makes us difficult for any organized effort to destroy. And why bother? We have nothing they want. No land, no treasure. And we always move on, allowing no one to grow too angry with us. Some might see this as cowardly, but we are proud. We are the last, and we will survive. They remain in human cities, forgetting all they once had. We call them Flat Ears, but they differ little from their Shemlin masters. A few may return, but we must accept that they know nothing of the lore, or why we keep it. We can hope to find a new home one day, where the Dalish and the Flat Ears will build a land greater even than Arlathan. We shall teach the Flat Ears the lore they lost, and perhaps they will teach us to understand the Shemlin at last. That is the only way we shall truly live in peace. Then I'm sure you have much to do, unless you've other questions. Of course. May the gods guide your path, Dalen.
I miss Tamlin. I want him to come home.
Again, the Grey Warden returns. This seems an ill omen.
I wish we could have found Tamlin. If those creatures... Oh, I can't bear to think about that. Why do you think the Grey Warden won't tell you about this cure? It seems rather cruel to withhold it. Keeper Marithari won't let him withhold it. I say we get your cure, move the clan north, and put this all behind us.
Why do we have to leave again? We're always going somewhere. Why can't I go to the Shem City?
It is time for the clan to move. This accursed place has brought us no good. Where is Tamlin? Is it as we suspected?
This cave should be destroyed, burned with fire. It brought us nothing but ill luck.
You bring sad news. Valhalla can sense it. They are restless and paw at the ground.
I wish we'd had more time to examine those artifacts. Perhaps another time, if the Keeper thinks it's wise.
Why did that Shemlin return with you? Does he have further business with the clan?
I see you have not returned with young Tamlin. Are we to assume the worst? A sad day for our clan. I know you and Tamlin were friends. My condolences on your loss. May the Creators guide your path.
You did not return with Tamlin. I know what that means. We all feel this loss.
It was good to meet you. Perhaps I'll get to hunt with you someday. You've never been to a city? Surely you've at least visited a town.
We occasionally trade with the Shemlin in small villages, but only a few in the clan can undertake that task.
I can't imagine never having seen a city. It's crowded, with buildings all squeezed together. There are people everywhere, and it always stinks. Only if they're servants. Most of us live in a part of the city called an alienage, separated from the humans by walls. That's where all the poorest folk live. Laborers, dockhands, and thieves. And that's if you're lucky. We don't think about it like that. To most folks, that's just how it is. Andraste's mercy, no. No one is allowed to walk around with any weapon. Fighting just gets you arrested. And I've never had to leave the city before. Much less learn how to hunt. Well, back in the city, we hear the same about you. Stories about Dalish bandits attacking people for no reason.
We would never resort to banditry.
I'm just saying that's what we hear. And it's elves who say these things, too, not humans. Even if they did, I honestly don't think most of them would want to leave. Wandering and hunting doesn't sound like much of a life.
At least they would live as free men, and as equals.
Maybe. But to most elves I know, the only difference between them and humans is how much coin they have. Coin is the great equalizer, not living free. I got into trouble for stealing. I'm not a thief. We just never really had a choice. Mother was a maid, and I was lucky if I could get work at the docks. You make a living however you can, right? When Mother died, I got drunk and was caught picking a guard's pocket. They were going to hang me, but I escaped and, well, here I am. I'll do my best to adjust and fit in. I never dreamed you'd be so welcoming. I thought at best you might hide me for a bit. I'm glad I was wrong. Of course. I hope to see you again.
I'm training Paul. He'll have to learn how to handle that bow quickly.
Again, the Grey Warden returns. This seems an ill omen.
Oh, thank the creators you're safe. I questioned the Keeper's wisdom at sending you off while you're still sick, but my doubts were misplaced. Tamlin isn't with you. Is it as everyone fears? Oh, poor dear. This is horrible news. Please take care of yourself and get better. We can't bear to lose anyone else. That's good. I thought the shaman's arrival was a bad omen, but perhaps I was wrong. I will see you soon, my dear. You make me very proud.
When I grow up, I want to be just like you.
Why has the Grey Warden returned with you? We have much to do before...
Why did that Shemlin return with you? Does he have further business with the clan?
Why do we have to leave again? We're always going somewhere. Why can't I go to the Shem City?
Your keeper and I have spoken, and we've come to an arrangement that concerns you. My order is in need of help. You are in need of a cure. When I leave, I hope you will join me. You would make an excellent Grey Warden. Everything, I'm afraid. The darkspawn taint courses through your veins. That you recovered at all is remarkable. But eventually the taint will sicken and kill you, or worse. The Grey Wardens can prevent that, but it means joining us.
We do not know. But we could not watch you suffer. The Grey Warden offers you a way to survive.
This is not simply charity on my part. I would not offer this if I did not think you had the makings of a Grey Warden. Let me be clear. You will likely never return here. We go to fight the Darkspawn, a battle that will take us far from your clan. But we need you, and others like you.
A great army of Darkspawn gathers in the south. A new blight threatens the land. We cannot outrun this storm. Long ago, the Dalish agreed to aid the Grey Wardens against a blight should that day arrive. We must honor that agreement. It breaks my heart to send you away, as it would to watch you die slowly from this sickness. This is your duty, and your salvation.
I welcome you to the Order. It is rare to have a Dalish amongst us, but they have always served with distinction.
I know you'll do your clan proud, Dalen. Take this ring. It is your heritage, and will protect you against the darkness to come.
A valuable gift. So, are you ready to go? We have much ground to cover, but I cannot deny you that. Say your farewells. Then we must be off.
Come then, Dalen. Before the Creators guide you from us, let your clan embrace you one last time.
We will be traveling south through the hinterlands to the ruin of Ostagar, on the edges of the Korkari Wilds. The Tevinter Imperium built Ostagar long ago to prevent the Wilders from invading the northern lowlands. It's fitting we make our stand here, even if we face a different foe within that forest. The King's forces have clashed with the Darkspawn several times, but here is where the bulk of the Horde will show itself. There are only a few Grey Wardens within Ferelden at the moment, but all of us are here. This blight must be stopped, here and now. If it spreads to the north, Ferelden will fall.
Ho there, Duncan.
King Kaelin. I didn't expect
a royal welcome? I was beginning to worry you'd miss all the fun.
Not if I could help it, Your Majesty.
Then I'll have the mighty Duncan at my side in battle after all. Glorious. The other wardens told me you'd found a promising recruit. I take it this is she?
Allow me to introduce you, Your Majesty.
There's no need to be so formal, Duncan. We'll be shedding blood together after all. Ho there, friend. Might I know your name? Pleased to meet you. The Grey Wardens are desperate to bolster their numbers, and I, for one, am glad to help them. You are Dalish, are you not? I hear your people possess remarkable skill and honor. To be fair, your people can be a bit standoffish. Not that I blame them, of course. I tell you this, you are very welcome here. The Grey Wardens will benefit greatly with you amongst them. I'm sorry to cut this short, but I should return to my tent. Loghain waits eagerly to bore me with his strategies.
Your uncle sends his greetings and reminds you that Redcliffe forces could be here in less than a week.
Ha! Eamon just wants in on the glory. We've won 3 battles against these monsters, and tomorrow should be no different. Overconfident, some would say. Right, Duncan?
Your Majesty, I'm not certain the Blight can be ended quite as quickly as you might wish.
I'm not even sure this is a true blight. There are plenty of Darkspawn on the field, but alas, we've seen no sign of an archdemon.
Disappointed, Your Majesty?
I'd hoped for a war like in the tales. A king riding with the fabled Grey Wardens against a tainted god. But I suppose this will have to do. I must go before Loghain sends out a search party. Farewell, Grey Wardens.
What the king said is true. They've won several battles against the Darkspawn here. Despite the victory so far, the Darkspawn horde grows larger with each passing day. By now, they look to outnumber us. I know there is an archdemon behind this, but I cannot ask the king to act solely on my feeling. Wait for reinforcements. We sent a call out west to the Grey Wardens of Orlais, but it will be many days before they can join us. Our numbers in Ferelden are too few. We must do what we can, and look to Teyrn Loghain to make up the difference. To that end, we should proceed with the joining ritual without delay. Feel free to explore the camp here as you wish. All I ask is that you do not leave it for the time being. There is another Grey Warden in the camp by the name of Alistair. When you're ready, seek him out and tell him it's time to summon the other recruits. Until then, I have business I must attend to. You may find me at the Grey Warden tent on the other side of this bridge, should you need to.
The Tower of Ishal is off limits. The men stationed inside are securing it now. I think they used it once to watch for wilders coming out of the forest. By orders of Teyrn Loghain, the tower is being secured by his men to be used during battle. I'm told they discovered some lower chambers, and they don't know how far down they go, so for now, everyone's to stay out. I didn't see anything like that when I was there, but who knows? Goes back to the time of the Tevinter Imperium. Dwarven make. That's probably why it's still standing. Make a speed your steps. Today, 2 units of men arrived every hour, and they expect to double that tomorrow. Still, the Cairn worries that may not be enough.
Make her watch over you, my lady.
Yes.
Make her watch over you, my lady. Make her watch over you, my lady.
All right.
Hail, you must be the Grey Warden recruit that Duncan brought. This place hasn't seen such bustle in centuries, I'll wager. Need a hand getting anywhere? Not far. It's straight ahead, just past the royal encampment. Most of your fellas are in the valley with the army, but the recruits seem to be staying up here for now. Try heading north. I think he was sent with a message to the mages. Used to be a fortress long time ago, so I understand. back in the days when the Wilders used to invade the lowlands. You were just on the eastern side of the ruin. The Tower of Ishal is there, but Tairn Logain's closed it off until the battle. This side is the King's camp. We've got the Grey Wardens here, the Circle of Magi, the Chantry. You can't swing a dead cat without hitting somebody important. Quartermaster, he's just a bit to the northwest. Probably in his tent. He and Tairn Logain are on the southwest side of the camp. The king likes to spend time with his soldiers, though. Sometimes even without his bodyguards. Drives Tairn Logain wild, that does. A few mages, yes. They even brought those creepy quiet fellows, the Tranquil. Gives me the shivers when they talk, all cold and even. They're to the north of here, bunched up with a herd of Templars glaring at them. Can't miss it. This is Ferelden, isn't it? The king has his kennels on the west side of camp. Stinks from all the hounds. These aren't cute puppies, though. Some of those dogs bite the darkspawn and get too much of that blood in them. It's like poison. Slow, painful death. Terrible. Go on, then. Good luck to you, then.
Greetings. King Kalen is not in his tent right now? I suppose I do, though he's spending most of his time with the Grey Wardens. He rides with them wherever they go, in fact. Tairn Logain sees the king whenever he can and argues with him over coming battles, but the king just waves him off. The king wants to end the Blight with a single huge battle the bards will sing of for centuries. Do you think that's possible? That's how the Tairn feels. He'll do what the king wants in the end, though. The king thought it was funny that Tairn called him reckless, and they fought about the queen. She's the Tairn's daughter. He wasn't happy about something she did or the king did, I'm not sure. I probably shouldn't discuss it. As you wish.
Look carefully, men. This wretched thing is a darkspawn. They're strong and cunning and smart, but don't listen to those old wives' tales. They can be killed. Stick them with your sword enough, and they go down. Their blood is black as sin and poisonous. Don't even touch it. You get tainted with that blood, and you may as well slit your throat. We've lost many dogs already. Had to muzzle them to keep them from biting. It's a long and painful way to die.
Make her watch over you, my lady.
Blessed art thou who exists in the sight of the Maker. I shall not be left to wander the drifting roads of the Fade, for there is no darkness, nor death in the Maker's light. Yes. This is supposed to be the battle that sends these darkspawn back underground. You believe that?
There are lots of darkspawn, different kinds. Heard of. A short friend here, for instance, is something called a genlog. They're pretty common in the Horde, but we've seen others much larger. We don't know where these new darkspawn are coming from, or what they can do. All I can say is to use caution. There aren't any we've seen that won't die once they bleed enough.
You approach the tent of Tairn Logain. State your business. How can you not know of Logain? He helped free Ferelden. He was the brains behind King Maric's armies and drove out those damned Orlesians. King Maric rewarded him by making him a Tairn. Can you imagine? A commoner became a high nobleman just like that. Without Logain, you can bet the king wouldn't be winning against these darkspawn. He's inside, but I don't think it's my place to discuss his activity. I suppose, as long as we talk quietly. He and the king have been arguing for days. The Tern's known the king since he was swaddled, so they don't stand on ceremony. The Tern speaks his mind, and the king yells right back. Personally, I think the king should do what Tern Logain tells him. Without the Tern, we wouldn't be doing as well here as we are. I suppose you have a message for him. Hold on, then.
Yes, what is it? Oh, you're Duncan's new Grey Warden, I assume. Kaelin's fascination with the Wardens goes beyond the ordinary. Are you aware his father brought your order back to Ferelden? Maric respected the Grey Wardens. They have an honored place in the hearts of our people. But Maric would have understood that it takes more than legends to win a battle. That's not an argument I'll repeat here. I see you're a Dalish. Maric knew a Dalish elf once. Never saw an equal with the bow before or since. I don't suppose you'll be riding into the thick of battle with the rest of your fellows, will you? If Kaelin has his way, you will. Now I must return to my task. Pray that our king proves amenable to wisdom, if you're the praying sort. Then simply pray.
You found our tent, I see. Is there something you need? Alistair can help you with those. I had hoped he would be back by now.
Welcome to the King's camp, my lady.
Hail. You're one of Duncan's new recruits, correct? I can't let you through to the Korkari Wilds until he gives the word. The Korkari Wilds is a dangerous place. More so now that it crawls with darkspawn. They say the Great Blight began deep within its forests. One of our scouting patrols has been gone for 3 days. We're taking bets on who got them first, the darkspawn or the Witches of the Wilds. Oh, sure. There's an old legend in these parts about Flemeth, the apostate sorceress who conquered this area centuries ago. She united the chasing barbarians and invaded the farmlands. That's when the great hero, Cormac, destroyed her army with his. Took her head right off, so they say. Her daughters survived and became the Witches of the Wild. Tales tell of them plaguing this area since, mostly superstitions, stealing babies and spoiling milk. Spend enough time here, you'll get an earful about those witches. Locals blame them for near everything. At any rate, that's why Duncan doesn't want you wandering out without his say-so.
Please do not disturb our hounds. We feed them well tonight, or it may be their last.
My respects to you, Grey Warden.
You there, elf. What's your name?
It's Pick, sir.
Go tell Tern Logain that the war party's ready to begin scouting. We'll send word if we find anything amiss.
Yes, sir. Right.
Maker's breath, another elf. What do you want? Not in particular, except for them being so thin-boned. We make good messengers sometimes. Is there something you wanted? We have no time for idle chatter. We aren't. We're Ash Warriors. Our training has been passed down since Lathias the Dwarf Son first harnessed the battle rage of the dwarves. It is an old tale. We harness the rage inside us, nurture it, and draw it out so we cannot fall in battle until our last foe is slain. It is a dwarven discipline, but we've adapted it to let us fight alongside our hounds. That is our way. I trust my hound with my life, as he trusts me with his. trained Mabari hound is as dangerous as any sword. We do not speak of a city pet or those things that sit in an old woman's lap. To scout the wilds and watch the progression of the Darkspawn horde. With luck, we'll find and slaughter many stragglers. The hunt will be good if my hound survives the blood of his prey. If he dies, I shall mourn tonight. Darkspawn blood is poisonous, but not always fatal. Those who survive grow immune to its effects. The Wardens say that tainted blood drives even the survivors mad eventually. But not today. Today, we hunt and we kill. They fight at our side. We don't fret over their safety as if they were children. They use scent to distinguish us from our enemies. But the blood of battle can confuse them. So we paint ourselves with caddis, which overpowers the blood, and also paint our hounds so they know we are the same. Why? Would you steal our caddis and give it to the Darkspawn hordes? If you tried, we would kill you. And that is no joke. My thanks. There is hunting to be done, and I'll not be kept from it.
This isn't good. I'd hate to waste such a promising member of the breed. Are you the new warden? I could use some help. This is a Mabari. Smart breed and strong. His owner died in the last battle, and the poor hound swallowed Darkspawn blood. I have medicine that might help, but I need him muzzled first. You're a Grey Warden, or soon will be. All wardens are immune to the Darkspawn taint. The most you have to worry about is some tooth marks. Centuries ago, a mage bred them to be smart and understand what they're told. They can remember and carry out complex orders. Most valuable dogs in the world. Trouble is, they generally imprint to one master. Re-imprinting them is very difficult. But without the medicine, re-imprinting won't be an issue. Will you help? We can try, but first we need to muzzle and medicate him. Go in the pen and let him smell you. We'll know right away if he'll respond. Let's hope this works. I'd really hate to have to put him down. Well done. Now I can treat the dog properly, poor fella. Come to think of it, are you heading into the wilds anytime soon? There's a particular herb I could use to improve the dog's chances. It's a flower that grows in the swamps here, if I remember. If you happen across it, I could use it. It's very distinctive, all white with a blood-red centre. It usually grows in dead wood that collects at the edge of ground pools. Should be plenty this time of year. If he doesn't get it, chances are he'll need to be put down. Good. In the meantime, I'll begin treating our poor friend.
We stand here in this hour, good folk of Ferelden, and we contemplate the death that may await.
Greetings, young lady. You are Duncan's newest recruit, are you not? He's not a man easily impressed. You should be proud. Allow me to introduce myself. I am Wynne, one of the mages summoned by the king. Well met, and good luck to you on the battlefield. To us all, in fact. Not precisely. The Grey Wardens will be on the front lines, not the mages. Still, we have our parts to play. To defeat the Darkspawn, we have to work together. It's not an idea everyone seems able to grasp. Stragglers, yes. Not the vast horde the scouts speak of. I wonder, how much do you know of the connection between Darkspawn and the Fade? Anytime your spirit leaves your earthly body, Whether it's to dream or to die, it passes into the realm we call the Fade. It's home to many spirits, some benevolent, others far less so. At the heart of the Fade lies the Black City. Some say the Black City was once the seat of the Maker. But when the mages from the Tevinter Imperium found a way into the city, it was tainted with their sin. That taint transformed those men, turning them into twisted reflections of their own hearts. And the Maker cast them back to the Earth, where they became the first Darkspawn. At least that's what the Chant of Light says. It may be allegory, meant to teach us that our own evil causes human suffering. Or it may be true. It is as good an explanation as any for now. Advice? Never. You young ones know all there is to know about the world anyway. Why would you need advice from an elder? But I'm certain Duncan has more for you to do than talk to me.
And remember those who have fallen and those who have yet to fall.
Hail to you!
I'm sorry, but the mages must not be interrupted. I'm sorry, but the mages must not be interrupted.
The mages must not be interrupted. Their spirits are in the Fade. The Fade is the realm of dreams and the land of the dead, or so the mages tell us. Regardless, they are not to be disturbed, not even by Grey Wardens.
Maker above, hear the prayers of your sons and daughters. He who betrayed your prophet Andraste now
You may not want to remain here long, Warden. Most of these men have been tainted by the Darkspawn blood.
I can feel it inside me. You need to convince them. We've got to run. The Darkspawn are coming. The Grey Wardens will die. The King will die. We'll all die.
I apologize, Warden. He's been like this ever since they found him in the wilds. The commander who brought him here didn't seem to think so.
You can feel it, can't you? They taint the land, turn it black and sick. Oh, you can feel it inside. They'll come out of that forest and spread. Like caterpillars covering a tree. They'll swallow us whole.
That's quite enough out of you. You need to calm yourself, my good man.
They were everywhere. I saw them.
In the name of Andraste, I bless you today. May you find...
Greetings. You must be the third recruit we've heard about. Sir Jury is my name. I hail from Redcliffe, where I served as knight under the command of Arl Eamon. I wasn't aware elves could join the Grey Wardens. Those camped in the valley are all human. No, clearly the Grey Wardens pick their recruits on their merits. I hope we're both lucky enough to eventually join the Wardens. Is it not thrilling to be given that chance? As am I. Has anyone told you about it? I never heard of such a ritual. I had no idea there were more tests after getting recruited. I suppose since you're finally here, I'd best get back to Duncan. I shall see you there.
Huh. Someone finally comes and talks to the lone prisoner. I don't suppose you've come to sentence me. I don't suppose you have a bit of kindness in you. All I want is food and water. They haven't fed me since I was locked up and I'm starving. I'm a deserter, or so they think. I bet there's no arguing them out of it, though. Armies are funny that way. I wasn't deserting. But when you catch someone sneaking around camp in the middle of the night, what else are you gonna think? Does it matter? All I want is a bit of food and water. Oh, that's sweet of you, dearie. How about you marry me instead? At least I could get a kiss before they hang me. And it's not as if they're wrong. I probably would have deserted later. Just not when they caught me is all. Hope that doesn't spoil your opinion of me. I'm still hungry enough to eat my shoe. I expect nobody thought of it with all the battles and such. Just ask my guard for his. He's still got some dinner. I saw him put it in his coat.
Lucky dog. You Grey Wardens get to ride with the king while I'm left with the drudgery of guarding this deserter. They should have just hanged him. Put his head on a pike as an example. They say he was recruited before the war up in Dinnerham. Probably figured he'd never have to fight if he served the king, right? Why does anyone want to desert? Because he thinks he's going to die and he's a bloody coward, that's why. Either that or he's been listening to a bunch of hogwash about how the Darkspawn will drag you off and eat you. Don't expect it was an enlightening conversation. What a surprise. Another innocent prisoner. Anyway, it's not for me to say. He'll get his day to plead his case, or he won't. It's all the same to me. Did he now? Since nobody sends me nothing to feed him with, the only way we'll get that is if I give him mine. All right, all right. I guess the poor fella could stand to have one meal in his belly before he hangs. Don't know why you care. I had nothing to do with it, though. If anyone asks why he's burping, I'm gonna say it was you. Just so you know.
So? Brought me some food, have you? I'm so hungry I could faint dead away. Much obliged. You're a kind soul, you are. May Andraste herself rain blessings upon you.
Well, you're not what I thought you'd be. Not an elf, yet here you are. The name's Daveth. It's about bloody time you came along. I was beginning to think they cooked this ritual up just for our benefit. I happened to be sneaking around camp last night, see, and I heard a couple of Grey Wardens talking. So, I listened in for a bit. I'm thinking they plan to send us into the wilds. Cannibals, beasts, witches, and now Darkspawn. What isn't to be scared of? It's all too secretive for me. Makes my nose twitch. I guess we'll have to wait and see. Like we have a choice. I've got nowhere else to go after what Duncan saved me from. Anyway, I expect it's time to get back to Duncan. That's where I'll be if you need me for anything.
How do you do?
You there, elf. Where's my armor? And why are you dressed so preposterously? You're the one who arrived with the Grey Warden. Please, forgive my rudeness. There are so many elves running about, and I've been waiting for... It's simply been so hectic. I never thought... But please, pardon my terrible manners. I am just the quartermaster, a simple man. No one special. Yes, of course, you're very right. Did you come for some supplies, perhaps? Arms and armor, for the most part. It's for the King's men, but you Grey Wardens can buy what you need for a modest price. I also have some goods on the side I can provide. Strictly off the record, of course, to keep morale up, you understand. So long as you keep it quiet. Hello again. Is there something you need? Some supplies, perhaps? Let me know what you'd like.
Welcome, young woman. I am one of the Tranquil, my friend. I am of the Circle of Magi. But instead of casting spells and reading tomes, I spend my time enchanting. It is a time-consuming process, but invaluable. Enchantment provides the Circle its wealth. Certainly we would not get by on charity. Allow me to put it this way. Do you know why those with magical talent are feared? It is dangerous beyond its power. Those with magical talent attract demons and spirits. We can be possessed easily and thus become horrors known as abominations. Even those with minor talents attract hungry spirits. Anyone with the power may learn blood magic from these demons. Hence, we are considered dangerous. This is our curse. Thus, I was made tranquil, stripped of emotions and talent. I am no longer dangerous. It might seem such to you, but I feel no horror. I am content to serve in my role. Our forehead is branded with magic, which stills our talent and mind. The process is irreversible as far as I am aware. You do? I feel nothing. As the name suggests, my existence is quite peaceful. I am alive, productive, and no danger to anyone. Surely that is not a terrible thing. Perhaps we may speak of something else. Do you need assistance? It is the practice of folding magical lyrium into items first practiced by the dwarves The Tranquil have learned their runes, and we use them to apply a variety of magical effects. We create the glow lights, as well as the magic staff, or the flaming blade. The irony, perhaps, is that it is our very disconnection to our former talents that allows the Tranquil to work with lyrium so. A true mage could not. Runes exist that hold the power of the elements that increase strength or swiftness. Almost any spell can be given permanency, given enough skill and lyrium. Naturally, the greater the power required, the more expensive the rune will become to create. True power comes with a price, as we know only too well. Goodbye. That course of action is inadvisable.
Soldiers of Ferelden. Temple Foe. We stand here on...
Well, in for a silver, in for a crown, as my dear mum always used to say.
We should see what Duncan wants us to do next, don't you think?
The heavenly golden city itself. They tainted it with their sin, and... they were cast back into our world as Darkspawn. Sins made flesh, an evil that spread like an illness across our land.
I didn't know elves could join the Grey Wardens. Amazing. I'm sorry, but there's so much to do before the battle. I must attend to my duties or I'll get the switch.
What is it now? Haven't Grey Wardens asked more than enough of the Circle?
I simply came to deliver a message from the revered mother, Sir Mage. She desires your presence.
What her reverence desires is of no concern to me. I am busy helping the Grey Wardens, by the King's orders, I might add.
Should I have asked her to write a note?
Tell her I will not be harassed in this manner.
Yes, I was harassing you by delivering a message.
Your glibness does you no credit.
Here I thought we were getting along so well. I was even going to name one of my children after you. The Grumpy One.
Enough. I will speak to the woman if I must. Get out of my way, fool.
You know, one good thing about the Blight is how it brings people together. You're not the first to tell me that. Wait, we haven't met, have we? I don't suppose you happen to be another mage. And that makes you Duncan's new recruit, I suppose. Glad to meet you. As the junior member of the Order, I'll be accompanying you when you prepare for the joining. Honestly, nothing. Try not to worry about it. It will just distract you. You know, it just occurred to me that there have never been many women in the Grey Wardens. I wonder why that is. Yes, sir. So I'm curious. Have you ever actually encountered Darkspawn before? I've only fought them once up close, and that was before the battles here started, which Duncan has kept me out of so far. Tell me, did you find them as monstrous as I did? You'll be at an advantage then. Most new recruits have never even seen Darkspawn. Anyhow, whenever you're ready, let's get back to Duncan. I imagine he's eager to get things started. With the mage, the Circle is here at the King's request, and the Chantry doesn't like that one bit. They just love letting mages know how unwelcome they are, which puts me in a bit of an awkward position. I was once a Templar. Not that that's all Templars do, but yes, the Chantry raised me until Duncan recruited me 6 months ago. I'm sure the revered mother meant it as an insult, sending me as her messenger, and the mage picked right up on that. I never would have agreed to deliver it, but Duncan says we're all to cooperate and get along. Apparently they didn't get the same speech. Davith and Sir Jory are here in the camp. Have you met them? That makes things easy then. They'll both be back with Duncan by now. Don't worry, I'll try not to embarrass you. If you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, lead on. Yes.
Huh.
Hello again. Is there something you need? Some supplies, perhaps? Let me know what you'd like.
You found Alistair, did you? Good. I'll assume you're ready to begin preparations. Assuming, of course, that you're quite finished riling up mages, Alistair.
What can I say? The revered mother ambushed me. The way she wields guilt, they should stick her in the army.
She forced you to sass the mage, did she? We cannot afford to antagonize anyone, Alistair. We don't need to give anyone more ammunition against us.
You're right, Duncan. I apologize.
Now then, since you're all here, we can begin. You four will be heading into the Korcari Wilds to perform 2 tasks. The first is to obtain 3 vials of Darkspawn blood, 1 for each recruit. There was once a Grey Warden archive in the wilds, abandoned long ago when we could no longer afford to maintain such remote outposts. It has recently come to our attention that some scrolls have been left behind, magically sealed to protect them. Alistair, I want you to retrieve these scrolls if you can. Old treaties, if you're curious. Promises of support made to the Grey Wardens long ago. They were once considered only formalities. With so many having forgotten their commitments to us, I suspect it may be a good idea to have something to remind them with. It's possible the scrolls may have been destroyed or even stolen, though the seal's magic should have protected them. Only a Grey Warden can break such a seal.
I don't understand. Why leave such things in a ruin if they're so valuable?
It was assumed that we would someday return. A great many things were assumed that have not held true. No, but the effort must be made. I have every confidence you are up to the task. It will be an overgrown ruin by now, but the sealed chest should remain intact. Alistair will guide you to the area you need to search. Watch over your charges, Alistair. Return quickly and safely.
We will.
Then may the Maker watch over your path. I will see you when you return.
Hail. I'm told you all have business in the wilds. The gate's open for you. Just be careful out there. Even a Grey Warden won't be safe in the forest tonight.
Yes? I grew up in a village about a day's trip to the east. Little blot you wouldn't even find on a map. Haven't been back in years. I struck out for the city as soon as I could outrun my pa. I've been in Denerim for what, 6 years now? Never liked it much, but there's more purses there than anywhere else. And a pickpocket, thank you very much. Or was, anyhow. Who'd ever guess I'd end up a Grey Warden? I found them. I cut Duncan's purse while he was standing in a crowd. He grabs my wrist, but I squirm out and bolt. The old bugger can run, but the garrison caught me first. I'm a wanted man in Denerim, you see, so they were going to string me up right there. Duncan stopped them, invoked the right of conscription. I gave the garrison the finger while I was walking away. Don't know why Duncan wants someone like me, but he says finesse is important and that I'm fast with a blade. You bet your boots I am. Besides, it beats getting strung up. All right for an old bugger. He's faster than he looks, too. You heard the same speech I did. Blood and old treaties. Off we go into the wilds. Hey, I'm following you, aren't I?
I am ready. I hail from Redcliffe, but Duncan recruited me in Highever, a city off the northern coast. Have you traveled there? I was in Arlayman's retinue when he attended King Maric's funeral. It was in Highever that I met my Helena. I was smitten. She has the most beautiful eyes, my Helena. Now, for years, I found any excuse to return there. We married a year ago. Arlayman gave me leave to serve in Highever, but I was attempting to persuade Helena to come to Redcliffe with me, at least until I was recruited. Never. I will return to her once my duty is done and the Blight defeated. Last month, Duncan visited Highever, and the band held a tournament in his honor. I won the Grand Melee. It was hard to leave my wife. We married only a year ago, and she is heavy with child now. But Ferelden needs my blade, and I shall not falter. He has a seemingly impossible task, with a scarce handful of Grey Wardens, yet he does not complain or flinch from his duty. We need to find those documents and the Darkspawn blood. It should be interesting. Indeed.
Let's get what we came for and head back to Duncan.